Good morning, boys and girls. Mrs. Radel here. My remarkable readers, today for Reading Workshop, we are going to talk about cause and effect. So the cause is the reason why something happens, and the effect is what actually happens after that event happens, after the cause. So, for example, when it's raining outside and the sun comes out, the effect is we get a rainbow, and you can see this from the anchor chart that we're going to be sharing with you today. So if you are out playing baseball and you hit the ball, the result might be that you get a home run, or the result might be, if you're doing it in your yard, you might hit the window. You want to be careful of that. If you are out in the hot sun like it is today and you're eating an ice cream cone, you might not be able to finish your ice cream cone. The sun might melt the ice cream, so you'll have to eat it quickly. So cause and effect is the reason why something might happen, and then what happens after that event happens is the effect. We're going to read a book today called A House for a Hermit Crab, and we're going to keep in mind cause and effect. And I want you all readers to be thinking, as the author is writing this story, am I noticing the effects of events that happen? So the why something happens and what actually happens. So let's see. All right, I've got one of my favorite authors, Eric Carle, A House for a Hermit Crab. And you may be doing a little science art project related to this a little bit later. So let's make sure it's in the screen frame. Okay, and off go my glasses. Too hard to read without. Okay. Time to move, said Hermit Crab one day in January. I've grown too big for this little shell. He had felt safe and snug in his shell, but now it was too snug. Hermit Crab stepped out of the shell and onto the floor of the ocean. But it was frightening out in the open sea without a shell to hide in. What if a big fish comes along and attacks me, he thought. I must find a new house soon. So I want you to think, what is happening? It's time for him to move. And the result is he's going to have to find a new home. Keep thinking, readers. Early in February, Hermit Crab found just the house he was looking for. It was a big shell and strong. He moved right in, wiggling and waggling about inside to see how it felt. It felt just right, but it looked so plain, thought the Hermit Crab. In March, Hermit Crab met some sea anemones. They swayed gently back and forth in the water. How beautiful you are, said Hermit Crab. Would you come and be willing to live on my house? It's so plain. It needs you. I'll come, whispered a small sea anemone, and gently Hermit Crab picked up the sea anemone with his claw and put it on his shell. In April, Hermit Crab passed a flock of starfish moving slowly along the floor. How handsome you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to decorate my house? I would, signaled a little sea star, and carefully Hermit Crab picked him up with his claw and put him on his house. In May, Hermit Crab discovered some coral. They were hard and didn't move. How pretty you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to help my house be more beautiful? I would, creaked a crusty coral. Gingerly, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and placed it on its shell. In June, Hermit Crab came to a group of snails crawling over a rock on the ocean floor. They grazed as they went, picking up algae and bits of debris, and leaving a neat path behind them. How tidy and hard-working you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to come and help clean my house? I would, offered one of the snails. Happily, Hermit Crab picked up the snail with his claw and placed it on his shell. In July, Hermit Crab came upon several sea urchins. They had sharp, prickly needles. "How fierce you look," said Hermit Crab. "Would one of you be willing to protect my house?" "I would," answered a spiky sea urchin. And gratefully, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and placed it near his, you got it, shell. His home is looking really beautiful now, isn't it, friends? In August, Hermit Crab and his friends wandered into the forest of seaweed. "It's so dark in here," thought Hermit Crab. "How dim it is," murmured the sea anemone. "How gloomy it is," whispered the starfish. "How murky it is," complained the coral. "I can't see," said the snail. "It's like nighttime," cried the sea urchin. In September, Hermit Crab spotted a school of lanternfish darting through the dark water. "How bright you are," said Hermit Crab. "Would one of you be willing to come and light up our house?" "I would," replied the lanternfish, and it swam over near his shell. In October, are you guys noticing the pattern, the months of the year? Hermit Crab approached a pile of smooth pebbles. "How sturdy you are," said Hermit Crab. "Would you mind if I rearranged you?" "Not at all," answered the pebbles. Hermit Crab picked them up one by one and with his claw, and he built a little wall around his shell. "Now my house is perfect," cheered Hermit Crab. But in November, Hermit Crab felt that his shell was seeming a little too small, and little by little over the year, Hermit Crab had grown. Soon he would have to find another bigger home, but he had come to love his friends and the sea anemone, the starfish, the coral, the sea urchin, the snail, the lanternfish, and even the smooth pebbles. "They have been so good to me," thought Hermit Crab. "They are like a family. How can I ever leave them?" In December, a smaller Hermit Crab passed by. "I have outgrown my shell," she said. "Would you know of a place for me?" "I have outgrown my house too," said Hermit Crab. "I must move on. You are welcome to live here, but you must promise to be good to my friends." "I promise," said the little crab. The following January, Hermit Crab stepped out and the little crab moved in. "Couldn't stay in that shell forever," said Hermit Crab as he waved goodbye. The ocean floor looked wider than he had remembered, but Hermit Crab wasn't afraid. Soon he spied the perfect house, a big, empty shell. It looked, well, a little plain, but sponges, he thought, barnacles, clownfish, sand dollars, electric eels. Oh, there are so many possibilities. I can't wait to get started. And that's the end of A House for a Hermit Crab. And I want you to think today, boys and girls, about cause and effect. What happened, why it happened, and you can relate this to your reading today, as we did in The House for a Hermit Crab. The hermit crab needed a new place to live because his shell got too small. And over the months, he decorated his home and became friends with his friends around him and loved his home. But then he continued to grow, so he needed to move on to a bigger shell. So the cause was he grew. The effect was he needed to find a new home. So I want you to, in your reading today, see if the author in your story is giving a cause and effect. That's all for now, friends.